The average author sells somewhere between 250 to 300 copies of their book in the entire lifespan of their book. Now, while that's a really good place to start, that's not a place to end. Most of the times when we desire to write a book, we desire for people that we know could be impacted by the book to have it. And I can guarantee with the billions upon billions of people that live and exist in this world, that more than 250 to 300 people need your book. And so today I want to share strategies that you can incorporate to actually be able to market with intention and to ensure that you're getting your book in the hands of the people who need it most. I'm pretty sure you're familiar with Napoleon Hill's book, Think and Grow Rich. If you're not, you definitely got to check it out. It was by far probably in my top 5 favorite and most impactful books that I've ever read in my entire life. Anyways, needless to say, Napoleon Hill published his book in 1937. A few short years later, he passed away in 1975. Since 1975, he has sold over 80 million copies of this book. So hear me out. 80 million copies of this book being sold since this man is long gone. So he's still increasing income for his loved ones, for his organization, for his family and friends. But more importantly, he's still having an impact years down the road. There's an old saying that we die twice. We die the day our physical body leaves the world. And the second time we die is when our impact leaves the world. So if you take somebody like Napoleon Hill, for example, he's still living on and able to transform and change lives by something he's written years and years and years ago. And he's selling more books as he's gone and left this earth than people who are here and have the opportunity to share their book with the world. The thing about Napoleon Hill is that he isn't some special case, he isn't unique, but he did have intention when he wrote his book. And that's what I want to talk about. I think that so many times we have this big idea for this great book that we write, and we're like, all right, I put all this content in there, I put my blood, sweat, and tears figuratively into this book, so now the world should know about it, and now the world should want it. But the truth is, unless you get it out in front of the right people, nobody's going to know what the book even is or how it works for them. More importantly, a lot of people make a big mistake of feeling like if they put a ton of information in the book that people will want to buy it. The reality is we can gain information from Google, YouTube, Yahoo, or any other search engine in the world. What people are really asking for is transformation. So taking that information and really being able to make it practical, making it applicable to them, and really being able to implement an opportunity for people to transform their way of thinking, or any content that is inside of the book, it needs to be transformational for those reading it. So in order to have a strategy that's going to help you to market effectively and make sure that you're transforming people's lives by getting your book actually into the hands of those who need it most, I'm going to share a 4-step approach that you can start to implement right away. The first step is you got to know who your audience is. The biggest mistake you can make is believe that you're writing a book for everybody. Because if you write a book for everybody, you're writing it for nobody. So who is your audience and what is it that they need from you? When I think about the most impactful books that I have ever read, they apply to me. They make sense for me. It almost feels like the author is speaking directly to me, Dr. Nicolia. And so that's why I'm so impacted by the book. But when I read a book that's somewhat general, I may read it through, but it's not nearly as impactful to me as a book that's written for me or to me. The second step is you got to know where your readers are. Where are they located? If you're writing a book to a 6-year-old little boy and you're promoting it on Facebook, you may run into his parents, sure. But how can you get your book in front of the people that need to hear it most? So in that case, it may be a Boy Scouts event. It may be big brothers, big sisters. It may be a local community event. It may be a school, so on and so forth. The point is you got to know where your audience is and get your book in front of them. Like I mentioned, not only do you got to know where they're at, but you got to keep marketing. Sometimes people feel like it seems salesy or sleazy, and they're like, I don't want to keep getting it in front of them. But here's step 3. Market like it's going out of style. This is how I feel. If you know that your book is impactful, you know that your book is transformational, you know that people need to hear your book or read your book or hear from you, it is your obligation to get that book in front of them. It's not salesy or sleazy to want to support and help people in growing and transforming and changing their thinking and changing their life. Even with fiction books, it's not a salesy or sleazy to want to just give them some level of entertainment or a break or an opportunity to dig into something that entertains them and helps them to feel excited. We have to stop attaching the word salesy to things that are actually beneficial. A lot of times when I talk to people and I'm like, you gotta market like it's going out of style, just keep marketing, make sure your book is in front of the right audience and that sort of thing, they get frustrated because they're like, well, I don't want to seem like a used car salesman. But here's the difference. A used car salesman is selling you something that's not valuable, something that's not going to help you, something that's not going to be impactful for you, something that's not beneficial for you, something that's not adding value. When you're selling your book and you're letting people know about it, you're doing them a service. It is your obligation to show up in that with that level of confidence, knowing that you have an opportunity to transform their lives. Finally, the fourth step is you gotta let people know why they need it specifically. Think about it. There are a million ads on social media, a million ads on commercials on TV. There are a million things that can grab our attention in local stores. And so we as people can be exhausted trying to decipher what's for us and what we need. And your job as an author is to show up and show out. Let people know why they need your book specifically. So for example, if you're writing a book about finances, there's a million different books about finances, but why does your book stand out? And why does your book speak to that particular audience? Share that. Let them understand how this book is going to be applicable for their life. Let them know how this book can be transformational. One thing that I have found that has been crazy helpful in my marketing campaigns is I can talk about my book all day. I can talk about how inspirational, impactful I feel like my book is, but getting testimonials from people who have had life changes because of my stories flips everything, because it lets other people know they have permission to buy the book because someone else has already validated its value. All in all, I want to say that don't be scared to sell your book. You will sell yourself and the entire world short if you stop at 250 to 300 copies. I guarantee you there's more than 250 to 300 people that need your book. So show up, walk in that confidence, and share your book so that the people who need it most have an opportunity to hear from you. And then you can do just like Napoleon Hill did, and you can sell books for years and years and years to come, continuing on a wonderful, beautiful legacy. So as I mentioned previously, there are 5,000 books being published every single day. So unless you're intentional about making your book stand out, it's likely that it will blend in. But I don't believe that you wrote your book or that you have a desire for a book for it to blend in. So I want to offer you an opportunity to join me as I pull back the curtains and share the strategies that I have used to become a best-selling author on all 10 of my books. I'll walk you through the formula, the things that you need to have in place, marketing strategies, and you'll walk away with a foolproof formula to have your book become bestseller on Amazon. So if you're ready to get started, use the link below. Make sure you hit like and subscribe before you go, and I can't wait to see you on the inside.